Hey everybody, welcome to another Age of Grogu, and I've got the Elijah today. How's it going, man?
Good, good, good.
Good, good. Yeah, we don't have Jason, we don't have Max. They're both vacationing.
They're
They're
both
off.
on trips.
Yeah, yeah.
Off doing
Max is
things.
over in Philadelphia, and Jason's slapping it up with his family in Hawaii. So
Yeah, I didn't even know he was in Hawaii until I saw that message today. So
yeah, yeah. I was like, yeah. He mentioned he was going, but then I was just like, I completely forgot it was this week. I was like, okay, that's cool. So
fun.
just
I'd like
us.
to take a vacation.
Yeah, no, I'd like to take one too. I'm, yeah, the trick is saving up.
I
Uh,
know.
yeah. So, what have you been up to? It's been a couple of weeks. I've been kind of busy with stuff, and I haven't had the chance to kind of jump on. But what
Yeah,
have you
what's the
been
last time
checking
we
out?
did a last? When's the last time that we did a stream? 2 weeks
I don't know.
ago.
Did you? Yeah, about 3 weeks ago. Did you see Thunderbolts?
I still haven't seen Thunderbolts yet. Like it's kind of in
Right.
my mind. I'm like, I should go see it before it leaves theaters.
Okay. All right.
And I was even thinking about that maybe later this evening. Is like I'll go
Mm-hmm.
see it. So
Yeah.
because I know it's supposed to be. It's apparently getting good reviews. I don't know nothing. I haven't heard anything about it. So
Okay. Well, we'll
I'd like
keep
to
it
see it
spoiler free.
before before it gets out of theaters and before I have to wait,
Right.
like another
Yeah.
6 months to see it on streaming or DVD or something like that. So
Yeah. Yeah. No,
I'll get to it.
I did see it. I enjoyed it. I thought it was fun. It was definitely better structured than Captain America was, which didn't have a very well structured, format. It's worth seeing. I'm kind of like, there was two post credit scenes. That's all I'll say, and
Okay,
uh, I was entertained. I feel like we're still a long way away from being back to what Marvel was
for sure.
still. And I'm hoping that Fantastic Four, which comes out in less than 2 months' time now, is going to bounce it back up to that. Because for me personally, I mean, I know Thunderbolts is doing well enough around the world. It's been getting the views and making money, but you know,
Well,
it's
yeah, I think
worth the
Fantastic
check.
Four will definitely have its audience and its crowd and pull more people to it because it's something they haven't seen in a long time.
Yeah,
Or
yeah,
once they get into these next bigger movies, when they get into Doomsday and
hmm
whatever the other one's called, and whatever the other one's called.
yeah,
Um, I,
yeah, yeah.
I think you'll get your you should get your classic Marvel, you know,
Hmm.
viewings back. Like I think
Right.
it should do well in theaters, and hopefully it will
Yeah.
push the Marvel stuff in a different direction.
Yeah, I mean, when they did that announcement a few weeks ago, when they would, announcing all the cast in Doomsday, which is like 27 cast members, that's not including the full array. They're trying to keep some people on the sidelines and on the borderline there.
Right, keep some names under wraps.
Yeah, yeah. But I think they did a very good marketing job with that, which was people complained it was like you waited 5 minutes or 10 minutes between each name drop, and it was like, no, that was perfect. Everybody was hanging, everybody was talking.
I
Who, and people were
just
online
waited
going,
until the very
"Who's
end. I
next?"
just waited until the end of the day and
Yeah,
just saw everything all at once.
but there was something about the
I didn't
moment.
even know it was going
Just
on until the end of the
no,
day. To be
neither did
honest,
I until third name in. I was
yeah,
like, and then I just had it in the background for like 5 hours, and it's like,
right.
yeah, it was. You know what? I think it was creative. I thought it was worth the marketing of doing something like that. And it didn't really, cost them much except for Robert Downey Jr. popping up and going, "Hey, how's
Yeah,
it
yeah, yeah.
going? I'm back."
Which is
uh,
probably
that's it. Yeah.
contractually obligated to do something like that. Like we paid you enough. We don't need to give you another $1 million to come
Right.
here. Like they could
Yeah.
have been anywhere. It was a green screen. It could have been like in a
Hmm.
studio next to his house. Like he could have driven
Yeah.
5 minutes to get wherever he was. Like
Yeah.
you know. So,
But
but of course you got to get Robert Downey Jr. in there.
of course, yeah, totally. So yeah, Thunderbolts, as I said, if you haven't checked it out, worth checking out at least once. It's still, it was good. It wasn't great, but it was
Right.
good, and worth checking out because I feel like there's going to be a tie-in that you'll need to see down the track. Which of course Jason keeps on saying, you shouldn't need to see these films for tie-ins, but it's like, yeah, you kind of do. There's a certain amount of to be
Well, it
continued.
always helps.
It's
It
this,
it
yeah,
helps. It
yeah,
helps. I mean, you can read comic books and not see not know what's going on in
right,
some other comic
hmm
book line, but
yeah,
it helps everything. You more into it. But yeah,
yeah,
you don't need it. You shouldn't have to see everything, and you shouldn't need to see
yeah,
everything.
Yeah,
but definitely helps like build the story and build character and stuff like that.
yeah. I
Because
mean, it's a
otherwise,
bit
they're just
like.
gonna like we introduce this character in a different thing, so you
Mhm.
should just be well know who he is and all
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, they do enough recapping on certain characters and stuff to, remind you if you forgot about them or if you
that. Right.
hadn't seen a previous movie. They reintroduce Ghost in this from Ant Man,
Hmm.
the second Ant Man film, and I'd forgotten most of the details about a character, to be honest, and it was like, okay, uh, but same time, it's worth it. The other film that came out this past week I did go see was Mission Impossible, number 8. Had you followed
Oh, is
any
that
of
out
these?
now?
Yeah, it came out on Thursday.
No, I've
I
never
really,
watched one of them. I've never
really,
seen. I mean, I've seen parts of some of them,
right,
but um, it's just not my thing. Like those type of
right,
action movies just aren't my thing. I don't
like
know.
spy
Like
spy
I've
thriller
never
kind of thing.
spy through. I mean, like I can't think of. I was just talking to somebody else about this. Like I can't think of
Yeah,
any other movies that are even similar to that I do enjoy. The only one that
right,
popped to mind is True Lies.
okay, but that's a one-off movie though. That's not
That's a
made to be
one-off
a
movie, and
genre.
it's not.
Right.
Yeah, it's just one, two,
Hmm.
three, four, five, six. Like
Yeah.
like
Wait.
it's
But
just the
did
same.
did you like True Lies or not?
I love True Lies. I
Yeah,
like
it
True
was
Lies a
fun.
lot.
It was fun.
I like
Yeah,
True Lies a
yeah,
lot. There's
yeah,
a lot of things I like about it. I mean,
yeah.
it's very quotable. There's,
Hmm. Yeah.
um, it's one of the scenes I've seen a lot. I watch
Right.
it quite often. Like I do own it, and it's something I
Yeah.
go back and watch.
Hmm.
But Mission Impossible, I don't know. It's just there's something that doesn't call me to it, and
Fair
because
enough.
there's so many, it's just like that's also like just whatever. I've missed
Yeah.
it. I'm not. I don't care. So like,
That's
why,
fair enough.
why,
Well,
why try to get into it now? Like
no,
they're all
fair enough. I
streaming
get that.
on
Yeah.
they're all streaming on
It's
something right now, and I was looking
yeah.
like I almost was gonna go through and watch it. I'm like,
Uh-huh.
I don't care. Why would I watch it? Like I'm not gonna start watching it. I just don't care about it.
Yeah. I
Especially
mean
if I'm
that.
going back like 15 years to go catch
Yeah.
some, or 20 years, however
Actually,
long it's been since the first one.
29 years since the first one came out. That's
29
crazy.
years since the first
29
one.
years since the first one was since they
30,
shot the first one.
basically 30 years. I'm just gonna call it 30
Yeah.
years. That's crazy.
Yeah.
30
I know
years.
it is
That doesn't
crazy.
sound right.
I mean, I'll
That doesn't
yeah, it's
sound right.
29 years is when the first one they started shooting the first one. I was gonna say, I mean,
That doesn't sound right at
it's
all.
it's obviously yeah, it's 29 years. But it's one of those franchises. It's a bit like I guess Fast and the Furious. I mean, I've never seen a single Fast and the Furious, and I don't have any intention of feeling like
That's
I need to
way
go
different.
watch it.
That's
Right. No, well,
fucking
different
Chinese
type of
water torture. Like, it's just so
right.
bad. It's so cheesy.
But these ones
God,
were. I
that's
mean,
like a way different thing.
yeah. These are a bit like the James Bond films, but in a very different, form, of course. I
Right.
I I
Right.
have seen all of the Mission Impossibles at least once. Maybe some of the early ones I saw at least, maybe twice or 3 times. So I haven't, for me, they're not rewatch value, but I am glad I did get to see them. So as for this latest one, I think they did a very nice job at ending the franchise, because this is the last film. They tie it off. They do some homages to connect various points of story arcs that were
Hmm.
left open in previous movies and connect it in a fashion that worked. I would say it wasn't. I'd say it was a tame film compared to some of the other ones. And the fact is that whether you like Tom Cruise or hate Tom Cruise, he is a decent performer. He's a really good performer, and the fact he does a lot of the big stunts. It's impressive, and I'm not going to
His own
take that
stunts and
away
all that stuff.
from him as a
Yeah,
person.
I'm
As
not.
much as
I
he's a
don't hate Tom
yeah,
Cruise. I don't like
right,
dislike Tom Cruise. I'm kind of
yeah,
like just
yeah,
like I'm like whatever. He's
yeah,
Tom
yeah,
Cruise. Like we
yeah,
grew up with Tom Cruise. Like
yeah, yeah,
Tom Cruise from The Outsiders. It's like
uh-huh,
I
yeah,
remember when he had jacked up teeth and he was just didn't look like Tom. It was like original
yeah,
Tom
yeah,
Cruise.
yeah,
You're
yeah,
like,
yeah,
oh, this guy's like a movie star. He's had a lot of work done, and like he's
hmm,
obviously like he's Tom Cruise. So
yeah,
what are you gonna do?
yeah,
But yeah, I'm not. I don't
yeah,
dislike Tom Cruise. It's just not
yeah.
interested in those movies.
Yeah, again, it's a franchise, and it's it though. It's over. It's done well in the box office, and it's made its money. It's again, it was entertaining. I think episode 5 of the fifth movie was my favorite. I think it was Ghost Protocol. Had a good one, but it was worth seeing. What was really worth seeing was the Superman trailer on the big screen, the new one
Oh, I
that they
bet
dropped.
that
Ooh,
would have been
yeah.
fun to see.
Hey there, Chris. How's it
Which is
going?
coming soon. Which is nice.
Yeah,
The sooner, the
yeah,
closer we get.
yeah. The tickets haven't dropped for the Superman film, but I'm very excited to see that. Hopefully they'll drop in the next
I
couple of
would
weeks.
imagine. I think like probably the beginning of the month, maybe
Hmm.
June 1st.
Yeah, I would say so.
I could see that happening. Something like
Yeah,
that.
once all these other big
Soon.
ones go out of the way. Other small bits and pieces. They're announcing something big for One Piece season 2 on May 31st. I don't know if that's going to be a trailer or something, but I'm excited to see that. I love that first season so much. You
Indiana
watch
Jones 500.
they are releasing Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade for one night
Father's
only in a
Day.
couple of weeks. Yeah,
For
yeah, it
Father's Day.
is. Yeah.
Watch
But
Indiana Jones drag his dad along and get mad at his dad the whole
yeah,
movie. Come on, Dad! Ah,
yeah.
come
But
on, Dad!
I do think that they are sold out in the theaters near us. I think it's playing in Burbank, and I think it might be playing in one or two other theaters. But it's like, yeah,
Okay.
it's sold out a while ago.
Yeah,
But
I've
yeah,
seen that enough times. I don't need to see it in the theater.
yeah, no, but it's fun to see the Indiana Jones films on the big screen as well.
For sure. It's
Yeah,
totally nice. Totally
yeah.
nice. It's cool. It's cool.
Um,
It's cool. I'm really happy that they're bringing back movies into theaters like this now.
sure. Yeah.
Because I
Oh
always
yeah.
thought they should. Like way back
Yeah.
in the day, I thought why are they not playing older movies? Why don't they just
Yeah.
whatever?
Oh, it was so
So
cool
it's
watching
cool to
Return of the Jedi on the big screen last year when they re-released it.
yeah.
It was, it was good. The other film that's coming out next month, I've already got my tickets for, which I'm really excited for. How to Train Your Dragon. There's a lot more stuff coming up. I was going to show you through. There's a few more Epic Universe blogs. The Epic Universe that open up in Florida.
I've watched most
Yeah.
a lot of
Yeah.
walkthroughs on
Hmm.
YouTube about people going through.
Yeah.
So I've seen pretty much all of it.
Right.
So
We'll talk about that towards the end. I was going to kind of wrap it up with Epic Universe. But this film, How to Train Your Dragon 2, despite the people saying it's just a carbon copy, I feel like we're going to get something different from the animated film to the live action film. And of course, you haven't seen the animated film, so I'm hoping you'll see the live action. But then you're not a dragon fan, so
I'm not a Dragon fan, and
yeah.
actually I got an invite to see it like a week early or something.
What?
Yeah,
And you didn't tell me? No,
I didn't tell you.
I mean,
because
bad.
I knew you were. I knew you were going to see it anyways.
Yeah. Yes.
And I didn't like. I could have
Yeah.
got it for the Universal thing that I have. Whatever.
Right.
Like they're
Yeah.
doing like
I've been so bad at that. I've been so busy. So.
an early screening. The
Yeah,
reasons
come on.
I didn't get the tickets because I almost signed up for it.
Yeah.
But it's just an early screening.
Right.
And it's like first come first serve. I didn't want to get
So you
there
gotta wait
early
there for
and
hours.
get like
Yeah.
a seat and whatever. It's like,
Yeah.
and I know you're
That's
going to
fair
see
enough.
it anyways. And we got the AMC
Yeah.
pass. So I'm like, screw
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
It
that's
wasn't
fine.
something so cool that like
That's
I needed
cool.
to like sign up.
That's all right. I'll be honest. I get to the evenings, I pass
would've
out.
been
I've been so busy with work that I just get so tired. So, uh,
Yeah.
hey, Anchorman, stuck at work, huh? All right. Okay, that's good. Work is good though. Yeah,
Work is
I've
good.
I've had that. I've had that all week. Did you see this? Squid Game's final season. Yeah, June 27th. It's actually earlier than we thought. We were all guessing it was going to be August or November. But I mean, again, season 2. I was like mid about season 2. I'm hoping that they do something very different in season 3, the third part.
I like season 2. I thought it was good, and
Yeah.
it was a little shorter of a season.
Yeah.
So it's kind of funny that like it's not like season, finishing up season 2, like they kind of split it,
Yeah.
whatever. But I like it, so I'm excited to see where that goes.
Yeah. You've never seen Squid Games?
Come on, Anchorman, you need to watch it.
Yeah,
You-
for
you
shock
don't get it.
values, season one
If you
will
don't get
get
hooked-
you.
If
Yeah.
you don't get hooked in the first 2 or 3 episodes, and you don't want
Yeah.
to keep going and watching them, then obviously it's not for you.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's pretty. It's one of the most well done shows that keeps you.
That's not
enticed to, like,
Americanized.
wanna watch They're not Americanized that you want to
Yeah.
watch like right away. Like you
Yeah.
want to keep going. It's like not like, oh,
Yeah.
I'll take a break and watch it tomorrow.
Mhm.
Like
Yeah.
it's very easy to binge. It's very
Yeah.
if you have a free day,
Yeah.
it's like very easy to sit there and just watch.
I agree there. I agree
Even
there.
if you have a low attention
Yeah.
span,
Yeah.
you know,
Yes.
your low attention
Yeah.
span, it gives you enough to like keep you entertained.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. They set up this premise and then you just anticipate and you're just like, yeah, you continue to anticipate. They just finished shooting season 2 of Avatar: The Last Airbender, the live action series. I'm hoping it'll be a little stronger than season 1. Season 1 for me was kind of mid, but I'm looking forward to seeing that. Jason's not here, of course, but Zootopia 2 will be released in November 26th. He's a big Zootopia fan. Uh, and of course, animation, not your thing, Elijah, but you know,
It's not
but
animation, not my thing. It's just
yeah,
the
it's
family
Disney.
kid, the
Fam-
kid centric, family
uh-huh.
oriented
Sure.
animation. It's not my first thing that I'm gonna go to. Like I love animation,
Yeah, yeah.
but it's like I don't whatever. I'm not gonna go.
No,
I've
no,
never
that's
seen that
fair
movie.
enough.
What am I doing there? Like why I'm not gonna go to a theater. I
Uh-huh.
feel weird.
Yeah.
If I had a
No, that's
kid, it would
fair
be
enough.
completely different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something I did see that they actually rebooting that somebody signed back on for was Zach Braff is officially signed back on for Scrubs reboot. I don't know if that reboot involves like just
Whoa.
a handful of
It's
episodes.
got to be him and his buddy. Is the other guy? His best friend.
Well, yeah.
Like
Oh, what's his name? Oh,
whatever his name is.
I've completely forgot his blocking his name, but
They're like best
I'm
buddies.
sure
They're
he'll
like
be
they
signed.
do everything together.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
got to have
yeah,
to. It's the
yeah.
two of them got to be like in cahoots
Oh
or
yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
producers or something. It's like
yeah,
why wouldn't they? They're doing like T-Mobile
yeah,
commercials right now. It's
yeah.
like
But
come on.
this goes. You watched Scrubs originally, right?
I I watched
On and
enough of
off.
it to enough of it to know
Okay.
what it is.
Yeah.
I mean, like I just there's yeah, I watched enough to it, but I
Okay.
was never a big TV watcher. That was like when I wasn't watching TV and didn't have cable and didn't care, that type of thing. So whatever.
Yeah. Well, this does kind of bring the question. Yeah. Why are they even rebooting it though? Is there really interest? Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. I always find that if a show has its arc in the 90s or the 2000s and it ends its arc and then they try to pick up and do a reboot. I don't think I've seen anything in any reboot anywhere that is as good as what your memory was of that show being that show. And
Yes,
usually it feels like it's a
yes,
very forced humor, more so because they're older and they feel like they have to pick up on where they left off, so to speak. And they
right.
never nail, especially in comedies, I find, they never nail the right humor. I mean, Malcolm in the Middle
Well,
is the same way for
yeah.
me. Yeah.
Part of it's like the timing and writing, and like
Mm-hmm.
it was funny then. It's not the same writing's not
Yeah.
necessarily going to be funny
Yeah.
now, even
Or
if
it's
they
completely different writers, so you've got a
right.
different
Even if they got this
writing
different
style.
writers and they try to
Mm-hmm.
like do it the same way, it's like they got
Yeah.
to find a different way of approaching it to
Yeah.
still like
Yeah. Well, I mean,
appeal with the
Malcolm in the Middle
fans and
is,
stuff like that. Because it's always
yeah,
going to be like that. They're always fighting something.
yeah. Yeah, yeah. Malcolm in the Middle has got a 4 episode reboot revival from when it aired in the early 2000s, which
Yeah.
I enjoyed that series immensely. I thought it was very funny, and there's not many comedy shows that really do pure. Like I enjoyed Scrubs once in a while, but the same thing. I would have it playing in the background or something, and I'd chuckle at the occasional things. But for a show to make me really laugh, like out loud, Malcolm in the Middle did that for me. There were moments that were just absurdities, I think, that were
Right.
so absurd that I
Right.
actually connected and resonated with it. So for them to keep that same charm, even though Bryan Cranston is like, he played the father and he's playing the father, he's brought back to be that character again. I just don't know how I can also sit and see Bryan Cranston reconnecting with that character again. I
Well,
am curious
they're
about it.
all adults now. Like the kids are adults. It's
Well, the
like
kids are
not
too.
like
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
I mean, curious for sure. Like
Hmm.
kids are adults. Like what are they going to do? It's going to be about their kids, and where can you go with it? Like
Well, that's it.
Malcolm's
Yeah, I
going to
mean,
be doing like his
yeah,
narrating the thing, and he's an adult. Like
yeah, yeah,
I'm old now. I got my own kids. It's like
yeah. It
it's
could
a
be.
completely
Yeah,
different feel.
yeah, yeah.
It's like
No, I.
house, the Fuller House. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, you're bringing back some
I see.
sitcoms.
I never watched that either version of that, but
Yeah,
the original
I'm
or
just
the
saying it's just
reboots. But
an example of like they do these
sure,
things and they bring them back and like,
yeah,
okay, yeah, you get some
yeah,
interest, but just
yeah.
because oh well, there's nothing else to
But
watch.
it but
Check
it
this out.
loses any
For
charm
sure.
that the
Yeah,
original
it
show
loses.
once
Yes,
had.
yes,
Yeah,
yes, for sure.
yeah. I'm curious. But yeah. Anyway, it was something I saw. They just finished shooting Fallout season 2. It's wrapped. We all enjoyed that one, right? Yeah,
Yeah, I like that a lot.
yeah.
For sure.
They This is an official release image, which is I think what we saw at the end of the season 1 anyway, which is New
Mm.
Vegas. So yeah, I mean I don't
Yeah,
know
they filmed
anything
all that
about the
New Vegas stuff right over here in North Hollywood. They at
yeah.
that old movie theater. They made that.
Oh
That
really?
yeah.
Nice. Because I know they
They
shot
filmed
in L.A. Yeah, I don't think they shot anything in Vegas except for maybe pickup shots. I'm guessing.
Yeah, well, they
Um,
built like a whole fake Vegas strip over here in North
really?
Hollywood
Oh no way.
in an old lot that used to have a movie theater in it.
Oh nice.
Right over there on like Laurel Canyon and uh,
Really?
Victory or something like that.
Oh wow. Okay. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, a friend of mine was on that as a extra.
No, nice.
But uh, but yeah, I don't know when that comes out yet. Actually, did they have a release? Yeah, just coming soon. Yeah, I'm assuming that it might be by the end of the year. Maybe not. It's hard to tell. Sometimes they kick these shows out really quickly and get them up and running. Now again, I know
I can
you're
see
not a
that you
huge.
could always be like airing the first 3 episodes while the other ones you're getting edited or whatever. It's like a cycle,
Yeah,
like when the first one's done, put it on. Unless
yeah,
they wait for all of them to be
yeah,
completely finished before they air
yeah,
them.
yeah. I know you're not a huge fantasy fan when it comes to fantasy, but a book based on, well, a fantasy thing called the Elden Ring is supposedly going to be being made by A24. And the reason I brought this up is I've never read the book. I don't know really anything about it, but taking something like a property like that from A24 and making it yeah, it was a movie, right? Yeah, a movie. Could be interesting to see. I mean,
Trying to be the New Line Cinema now. They're like trying to get like a big thing
maybe,
so they can be a new line. Like,
yeah.
oh,
I don't know if that's a good
we
or a
got the
bad
mask, and
thing.
now we're doing
Hmm.
Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Well, it's
Wait.
gonna, it's a bigger movie for A24.
Sure. Yeah.
So, but it's what happens to the smaller. That's what happens to those smaller companies that do well. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I just said New Line Cinema, but
Hmm.
like, they're a small company, then they get like a Nightmare on Elm Street, then they get a this,
Yeah.
then they get a that, they get Mask, and
Yeah.
then they make more money and like whatever, make a couple comedies, and they put all their money into like a Lord of the Rings or whatever.
Yeah.
It could change them around. I mean, it could change like
Totally.
what they start producing, what they start making.
It could,
But
but then hopefully they don't become too big and they still decide to do smaller independent film. I
I
think.
don't know. I think a film
Yeah.
studio they
Big as they
you know
can. Yeah.
yeah they're
Yeah.
steps. Like let's start
Yeah.
with the art house films and work our
Yeah.
way up to where we're making big features
Yeah.
and
Hmm.
we want to make we want whatever they
Yeah.
want the praise just like any other studio does.
Yeah, yeah, I'd imagine they would. The reality is that studios like this that are popping up now, though, have got better gain of control over what they do and choices of what they do compared to say Disney or Warner
Right,
Brothers and anything
right,
anything
right.
that those
More
companies are
they give
doing.
the
Their
directors
IP
more
stuff
freedom,
now.
the producers more freedom.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. And because they're doing all those IPs, they're bound to. Well, they seem to be failing more than they're succeeding in a lot of
Right.
cases.
Yeah.
So I am curious what they do with that because I enjoy fantasy stuff. I've never read the books. I don't know anything about it, but I know it's very popular as a book.
Oh, I know
So
the name. I know Elden
yeah, well
Ring. I
that's
mean,
it. Yeah,
I've
if you,
been around
yeah,
enough to like
yeah,
at least know the
yeah,
name or at least know what it
yeah,
is.
same, yeah.
So,
So I am curious as to see what they do with the live action film and how well that plays off of a company that's, by the feel of it, being handed something big or bigger than than we've had for a while. It's the same way that as you said, New Line took on Lord of the Rings 20 years back or whatever.
okay.
Uh, and then this is something interesting. Highlander. is getting a reboot and as a feature film, 27 or 28, and it looks like Henry Cavill is going to be the lead.
Yeah, that
That
sounds about right.
actually could work. I mean,
That sounds right. That sounds about
yeah,
right.
I he definitely would work as a Highlander type character. I would be down for that.
I could see that.
Yeah, I don't know how. I like Highlander. I mean, when I was a teenager, Highlander was a big thing in Australia for some reason. I don't know how big it was over here, but
The first one or the second one?
the first one, well, first and second. Second one dipped a lot, but
Yeah, Dipped wasn't as good as the
yeah,
first one.
yeah. Although the re-edit was actually
Yeah,
way
it was
better.
big enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was big enough to where it definitely had a name, and it was
Hmm.
not A tier, but probably like a C tier or whatever, like something
Yeah.
people
Yeah.
found it by renting it, like that type of thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
A rental house like movie, like cool Highlander.
Yeah, it became a definite cult classic kind
Yeah,
of type film for genres. But it was always a fun premise. I mean, it was always like there's always another out there that they could take the powers of and all that. So I am curious as to how whether it's a direct reboot from the first original one, because it was Christopher Lambert who was the original actor in that, and I don't know. I mean, Henry Cavill could very well you know it definitely is up his alley, I think, as a
yeah.
character. So hopefully it does well enough for him and keeps him busy because he definitely deserves it. He's a good actor. I enjoy him. Other stuff that came out, the new Superman trailer came out a few weeks ago. I did a reaction to it. Did you see the new Superman trailer?
Oh yeah, uh-huh,
It came out, yeah,
totally.
and some
Yeah, I
new
like it.
poster stuff. It looks like
It's
yeah,
Yeah, I definitely like it. It's still not giving, which is good. It's still not giving a lot of like what's going on
the
in the
story.
story.
Yeah,
Yeah, like what's happening.
but
But
yeah,
that's good. I don't
yeah,
want to know. Like I
yeah.
want to be
I agree.
surprised of like how is this all piecing
Yeah,
together and why there are so many characters in this
yeah,
Superman movie. It's supposed to be
yeah.
about Superman. We have a lot of characters to like deal with.
Yeah, well,
But it could,
Green Lantern
knowing
and
James
and
Gunn,
Hawkgirl and yeah,
that's fine. I mean, he
yeah.
probably can write it in a way where like they're characters just like any
He's
other character,
yeah,
but they're superheroes,
yeah,
and it will work the way that he's
yeah,
the way he's doing it or
yeah,
writing it or whatever. So definitely
and
interested in see how well it turns out.
yeah. I'm excited to see because Superman's well established in this version of the film too. So we're picking at Superman in the middle of a moment where he obviously does something, and ends up by being center of attention on a world stage. And I'm kind of
I think
curious to
we're gonna get a
see how
Superman
that plays
statue
out.
in Burbank before the movie comes out.
That'd be cool.
So we
That'd
have
be
a
cool.
Wonder Woman, a Batman, and a Green
Yeah,
Lantern.
you're right. Yeah,
So I could see them
yeah,
releasing the Superman wherever it's going to be. Who knows? But I could see
yeah,
that happening before the movie comes out or when the movie comes out.
yeah, yeah. I actually saw the Green Lantern one for the first time. I'd never actually been up to it, and I was out at Burbank when I in the thing area there. But yeah, I'm yeah. I what can I say? Same way. The trailer, I enjoyed what they did in the trailer. I think the sound is going to be fantastic, and I'm curious to see what they do with the score because the music. I'm not even sure if I recall who's scoring this film, but they're pulling in some of the John Williams stuff in the
John
trailers
Williams,
quite
yeah.
quite often, quite a bit actually. And I'm curious to see whether he goes full John Williams at some point or not
I
with
don't
the
think it
score.
will go full John Williams. I mean, it's clear
Mm,
that they're like, an homage to
yeah.
John Williams.
Mm,
It would be it would be nice to hear like the actual John Williams score for the movie, but it
yeah.
probably just wouldn't work.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we'll
Uh,
see.
I did not like the green. We were talking about the one with uh,
With Deadpool,
Ryan Reynolds. Yeah. No, I didn't enjoy that. I thought it was too fake. It felt very animated, and it wasn't a solid story. Um, Again, Superman. I'm looking forward to. I think production design looks great. Everything like that. I'm so down for this movie.
yeah, everything is looking great
Yeah,
about Superman. I will
and
be surprised if it's not good
yeah,
or not great.
And
So
even in that trailer, David Cornsweet is just literally playing, hunched down. He's doing what Christopher Reeve did, where
yeah,
when he's Clark Kent
yeah,
is
yeah, yeah,
hunched down,
yeah,
but
yeah,
then he suddenly changes when he's Superman, even though
yeah.
he was still dressed as. Yeah, and again, that's very telling
Like
as
yeah,
well because
yeah.
obviously at this point in time, Lois Lane knows that he's Superman because he's
Well, they're like
he's
dating, and they're like, "Oh, I
yeah,
can
that's it.
interview a Superman." It's like,
Yeah,
which is cool. Like, it would be
yeah,
nice if they just
yeah.
start the movie with that, and if it's, I hear it's supposed to be some long interview, but like,
Mm,
they can get so much information
yeah,
um, put in that scene where he's
yeah,
like, "Oh, I'm doing an interview," and explain everything, bring everyone
yeah,
up to date, and just start the movie that way. I mean, it's got to that's got
yeah.
to be in the first 20 minutes
It
of the
feels
movie.
like it. It feels
That
like it
can't be
is.
towards
I
the end.
agree.
It's got to
Yeah,
be. It's got to be in the
yeah,
first. There's an
yeah,
opening scene, and then that
yeah.
happens, and then like an interview, and then you're all
It's
up to date, and then that
it's
type of
also
thing.
setting
So
up some great emotional stakes for the character of Superman, in my opinion. It's something we not necessarily seen on the big screen before of the way they're approaching Superman in that fact. I know that the animated series had approached Superman in those levels and the Justice League in general, with power play and who's in charge and all this sort of stuff, and the choices you make to other countries by jumping out of the American, following the
right,
American laws in a different
supporting
country.
someone else other than the
Yeah.
Americans, like like
Yes. Yeah.
regardless, they're humans and they're
Yeah.
gonna die, and I
Yeah.
need to save them
Yeah.
regardless if
That's
they're
it.
whatever,
Exactly. Yeah.
regardless of
And
who they are, I'm gonna save them.
and I think that's a
'Cause,
very good story to tell. I'm very very interested to see how James
yeah,
portrays this story and how it plays out and how it extends to the greater DC universe from there. And speaking of extending to the greater DC universe, you did check out the new Peacemaker trailer, right? Season 2?
yes, yeah,
Yeah.
same.
Yeah. It was a few weeks ago when it came out. But
Yeah,
yeah, Peacemaker, August 21st is when it comes out. You did catch these two in the trailer, Hawkgirl and Guy Gardner.
right.
And
And
they,
Gunn, Sean Gunn.
yeah, Sean Gunn as Maxwell Lord. Interesting. Sean Gunn has appeared now 3 times, I think, as Jason said recently to me, as different characters in the DC universe.
Right, he's played a lot of people.
Yeah. I don't know if
So
that's necessarily by
interesting.
choice. I feel like there still might be some multiverse stuff going. The last time we saw the Flash film, well, the only time I saw the Flash film, their universe collapsed. So I'm wondering whether this is just simply the beginning of this new universe. Because there is a scene in this trailer where you see Peacemaker step up behind himself with a gun pulled at his head,
Oh,
and I
right.
don't, it's telling that it could be multiverse. It's telling that it could be just an imposter. It's telling that it could be something we just don't know about yet. But
Yeah.
I'm curious to see how this plays out too. But this comes out obviously after Superman comes out, so we'll get an introduction to all these characters in the Superman movie. But then Peacemaker season 2 will expand on some of these characters, which could be fun. Um, the other one that comes
Exciting.
out,
See what happens.
what's that? Yeah, exactly. And then next month we going to the MCU. Sorry, yeah, MCU. We get Ironheart coming
Oh
out next
gosh, I'm
month,
forgetting
June
about
twenty
that
fourth.
completely.
I saw the trailer like 2 weeks after it dropped. I completely forgot. It's going
Yeah,
up
that
with
one
a
I don't think I have any interest in even watching. Like, it's cool that's happening. I mean,
yeah,
I'll probably check it out, but like right now, like it's not like
yeah,
that one's not on the top of my list. It's not calling me at all.
yeah. I mean, I in what's it called? Uh, Black Panther 2, they introduced her character, and I thought she had a great little backstory there. But I don't know if I'm gonna be sitting down doing reactions. I'll wait and see if Jason and Jason and Max were
Max.
interested at all. But I don't know if the energy is there to sit through another MCU. And they've also purposely said they're not really trying to tie in any of the TV shows now to the movieverse, and feeling that you have to
Yeah,
watch
I don't know if
all of
that's
it.
something that we need to like.
Yeah.
jump on and all watch together. It seems like something that we
Yeah.
could watch 2 episodes and then do like
Yeah.
and then go over and
Yeah.
recap it type thing,
Well,
versus trying to sit there and watch them all.
they're dropping the first 3 episodes on the premiere of June 24th. So that's like again, they're doing a movie length feature. And
Right.
so I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing. It depends on how they structure it. Andor was great because we got a 3-part movie in each of those, arcs that they did over the last, 4 weeks kind of thing. And
Right.
they were great movies. But if they're just going to do episode by episode, it's like, it's not really an arc. It's really a yeah, I mean, there's no real advertising for it as well. That's the big thing with Ironheart, and I feel bad because I think Echo had the same sort of lack of advertising and push, and I still haven't seen Echo yet. I should go and see it.
Wait a
Sit
minute,
down and
Echo?
watch
Which was
it.
Echo?
That was the one with after they introduced her in shoot, what was it? She was the one who shot Kingpin in the eye with the gun. In wait, what was it? In oh, uh, no, I
Daredevil.
forgot.
What Daredevil? What are you talking about?
It wasn't Daredevil. Yeah, Echo. Echo was the one who shot Peacemaker in the eye in Hawkeye, the series.
Okay.
See, you're already forgetting. Yeah,
Yeah, I'm forgetting.
yeah,
It's a
yeah,
lot. Yeah,
yeah.
it's
Sure.
like what?
Yeah,
Yeah, Hawkeye. I'm forgetting that was
yeah,
even like a show. It's kind of crazy.
yeah, yeah.
They come and go. I mean, man, it's
Yeah.
like
Sure.
we want superhero movies. Now we're like getting
Yeah.
more than we bargained for with superhero movies. It's like
Yeah. Yeah.
all the
Yeah.
time,
Yeah. They've got too many of them to pull into one big film, and they will pull these characters into this big, doomsday movie, I'm sure. But she's not listed on there as such right now. Speaking of Daredevil, by the way, it seems like Kristen Ritter, they dropped the first photo of her being on set for Daredevil Born Again. I kind of figure they're going to add more characters in as they go, but she's obviously the first. Yeah, I'm excited to see where Daredevil season 2 goes. I enjoyed, well, season 5, whatever. The next
season whatever it is.
Daredevil Born Again.
The next Daredevil.
Yeah, yeah,
See what happens.
yeah, exactly. I agree. But very little on that information yet. I assume they'll just pick up where they left off, kind of thing.
Yeah.
This is interesting too. I don't know if you saw this. Michael Douglas says he doesn't think he'll return as Hank Pym for another MCU film. I don't think so. I had the experience and was excited to do it, but I'm enjoying my hiatus and enjoying my life. So I feel like unless they throw him a wad of cash, they should have killed that character off at the end of the last Ant-Man film.
I don't know. A lot of cash. I know these actors say, "Oh, I like my free time." You're like, you don't want to film for 3 weeks or 2, whatever.
Yeah.
Like they don't. When they get those, they shoot them all out. They shoot,
Right.
Oh, you're 2 weeks. You're working 7 days over 2 weeks, and
Sure.
that's it. And we're gonna film. You're the number one on the call sheet, and we're gonna shoot it out, and then you're done.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, to be an actor where you're like, you don't, it's set up for you. You don't need to go to audition. All you need to go there and do it and collect your money.
Yeah. That's fair.
That's how you keep your lifestyle going. It's like just do another movie. Like unless you're so retired that you're like just completely done.
Yeah.
But what do you?
Well, end of the day, I mean, he's getting on. He's getting older, and
I know when you get into the
good for him if
he.
Yeah.
Right.
Good for him if he
when you're
sticks
getting
to
older.
that. Yeah.
Right. You're an accomplished actor. You've done everything. You're a producer, director, writer, whatever. You've done all that stuff. And now you're an older age. And then then you're going to be in like basically
you're going to play
a kids movie. You're playing like a role in like a superhero movie. It's like kind of not what they want to end their career on. I kind of understand that.
Yeah.
It's like Sean. What's his name?
What's that?
Going blank. Oh God, I'm going blank on name.
Oh, Connery.
Sean Connery. Yeah, like
Connery.
what's the last movie? Like the League of Extraordinary
yes,
League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. It's like that's what your exit out of Hollywood is like
Yeah,
on a movie like that. It's like,
yeah,
I don't think they want to get trapped on something like that.
yeah.
So
He's in his 70s, I
who
believe,
knows?
at this point. I think Michael Douglas is at least 70 years old in that age. But
Yeah,
yeah,
he's got to be in his
yeah,
late
yeah.
70s.
Yeah, I wouldn't say late. I'd say
I would say late
mid.
70s. I bet he's like
Yeah,
above 76.
yeah.
I'm gonna look
But at
at
the
it quick.
same time, as I said, good for him. But I still feel that character should have been killed off to make that film any sort of value in the third Ant-Man. They had to kill somebody off and put stakes in that, and they didn't do that. Again, what we were saying earlier, what I'm excited for is Fantastic
80.
Four.
He's 80 years old. Michael Douglas is
80.
80
Oh, he's
years old.
80 now. Shit,
Yep,
damn.
80.
Oh wow. Um, yeah, Matthew
So he'll
Wood,
be 81
who
coming up.
yeah, something I read here was Matthew Wood, who voiced General Grievous, is actually voicing Herbie the robot in Fantastic Four, which was kind of fun.
Okay.
Nothing new on that. I did see the new trailer on the big screen for that when I went and saw Mission Impossible the other day, along with that Superman trailer on the big screen. Both films look and sound amazing. I am so excited for Fantastic Four because Michael Giacchino's score alone. I cannot wait to hear that soundtrack. I think it's we've only heard the one piece that's dropped online, but it's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to that one. MCU. Okay, so the big thing that happened this past week, Doomsday and Secret Wars have been pushed from the summer of next year to December 18th of 2026, which is the Disney Star Wars time slot usually when they have a Star Wars film. The good thing here is that they pushed it further away from the Mando and Grogu movie, so it actually is being pushed far enough forward that it won't be
After or
kind of
before?
back to. This yeah,
Before
after.
or after Grogu? Okay, that
Mando
makes
and
sense.
Grogu comes out summer of next year. Doomsday now comes out December of next year. So there's a good 6 month gap between one and the other, which means it's going to give these big franchises room to breathe in the box office, hopefully for a little bit. Although I always find the summer breathing room is very short, depending on what the next big film is that comes out.
Yeah.
At least in December, they've got a bit of breathing room into the next year. And we saw that with The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi. Those films that open up in December tend to have a greater run. Sorry, I got a helicopter flying past. But they tend to have a much greater run in the theaters in December. So I understand when they put this film there. Obviously, the Avatar film, what's his name? James Cameron's Avatar comes out this year in December. But that comes out like once every 4 years or something. So Disney are kind of locking in the mid-December release. But I mean, again, I would rather see them also push it and spend more time cleaning things up and getting things right. I always feel that Disney have this deadline of saying, we got to get it out by next summer and you got to start shooting tomorrow. And it's like, well, then you get a crappier film. You don't have the time to develop stuff properly. And I get it, time is money, but it's like, man, they have missed the mark on so many occasions by pushing something out just too fast, in my opinion. Yeah. So, what else? Oh yeah, and the other thing about Doomsday, Hugh Jackman has been very coy about whether he'll turn up in Doomsday. He's not credited as one of the 27 actors that were listed in there, but I assume he'll turn up. Yeah, he will turn
I
up.
would
We're
think
pretty
so.
sure.
They kind of need to put him in there. It's like, yeah, it makes sense that they're not going to give out all the names.
Yeah.
It's like you need to have some surprises.
Yeah.
It gives you a general idea of where they're going.
Oh, totally. Yeah.
But something like that, you're going to have every character in it, and even if they're in there for a couple of lines or a fight scene or whatever, it's still.
Yeah. Now, a few years ago when they released, sorry. A few years ago when they released Barbie and they released Oppenheimer, and it became Barbenheimer, like as a cross-promotional.
Well, it was that just the synergy or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
No one planned on that. That just became like.
Yeah. Well, Dune
or
Messiah
whatever.
comes out now in the same day as Doomsday, apparently. And whether they push that is yet to be seen. But now they're calling it Doomsday. So
Doomsday.
people are calling it Doomsday online, which kind of would be a interesting cross pollination of movies being released on the same day,
Right.
or the same week, I should say. Who knows? I mean, they may push that further on, but I know Max would have much more to say about that. I'm excited to see the third Dune film, but we'll see. So let's jump into a bit of Star Wars stuff. Guess what today is? The
May
40,
25th. Oh, the
48th
40th
out of,
anniversary.
yeah, it's
48th
48
anniversary.
years old. Yes,
Huh.
A New Hope came out 48 years ago today. And I think Jedi came out today as well, on the 25th. Empire Strikes Back came out last week, 48 years ago last week for, Empire Strikes
Man, we're
Back came
getting to
out
the 50th
last year.
anniversary. That's kind of
Yeah, last week.
scary.
Yeah,
50 years.
I know,
50
50
years.
years. I know, 2 more years. Yeah, that's crazy
Whew.
that Star Wars has been around for nearly 50 years at this point. But yeah, Empire was 45 last week. And Star Wars, yeah, 48 years ago today. How crazy! Oh my goodness!
Pretty
I
trip.
wish, yeah, I really want them to
Trip.
re-release the original film again on the big screen just for the hell of it.
50th anniversary, maybe 2 years, and like, come on, just release the
Yeah.
real movie
Oh,
without
you're talking
all the
about for
special edition stuff.
yeah,
Yeah, just release
yeah,
it. Come on.
yeah. I agree. They should do that. Release a brand new. They should release every version. I keep saying I would get a box set with every version of A New Hope. There's like 6 versions of different changes, so you could watch at any point, any one of those moments, at the same time.
I think
Yeah,
everyone would, and that's what everyone's
yeah,
been like clamoring
yeah.
for is like a good copy of the original
Uh
movies.
huh.
And I know they did that one DVD where they have the original movie on it or whatever, but um,
Right.
I think people want like the cleaned up, like remastered or whatever version of the
Right.
original printings, not like a
Right.
dirty old copy of something
Yeah.
they got off of like Laserdisc or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
So, what are you gonna do? Keep
Uh
waiting.
huh. Chris, I saw you went to a convention over the weekend. You met Eddie Circus and Mads Mikkelsen over the weekend. That's cool. That's awesome. Which was the convention that they were at? Or was it a convention? I'm pretty sure you said I saw you
He was
had posted
stalking
you were going
them.
to a.
He was going through
Yeah.
their trash can,
No, that would be
and
that would
and
be
it,
that would
and
be
Eddie
Anchorman
Circus
stalking.
came out and said, "Hey, stop digging trash can! Stop digging through my
That's
trash."
cool though. How were they as people to talk to? Must have been fun. If you got the chance to talk to them, that was.
Philly fan.
The Philly fan. Hey, that's exactly where Max is right now. Is in Philadelphia. Fan Expo. That's cool. Awesome.
How
That's
many
cool.
comic books is Max going to come back with from
I
Philadelphia?
don't know if he
I
went
went
to
to the
this
comic
convention.
book stores out there.
See, he supposedly
I got
went
to
with
drive home because I can't fly home because I bought
he
too many
went there with
comics.
family. I'm guessing he also went to this convention too. I'm gonna have to find out. We'll find out when he gets
You know
back.
he's not going to go to. It's like me not going to a record store in like a different
Sure. Yeah.
state.
Exactly.
It's like
Yeah.
you're going to go for sure.
Uh
What you do.
huh. Now you probably didn't end up catching this yet, but did you catch Tales of the Underworld? Or?
No, no,
Okay.
no.
Fair enough.
That's kind of another thing I don't have as much
Okay. That's fair enough. It was good. I
to
enjoyed it.
watch.
It further developed 2 characters I enjoy watching from the animated stuff, and we're really seeing Cad Bane come to live action. I'm pretty sure they've got more story stuff to tell with Ventress, which I think would be kind of a fun thing. She's like the Ahsoka character. She's got this great backstory that they developed over the years, which I think Ahsoka had the same development. Um, Andy took his time and was cool as hell. That's cool. I kind of got pushed through the Mads line, even though there was like no one there. Really interesting.
Huh.
Ah,
Get there, get
okay.
through. And he's
Andy's
taking his time to talk to everybody and
yeah, that's
that
cool.
is my line.
That's cool. Yeah. No, that's awesome. I didn't even realize that Andy Serkis was doing a lot of conventions these days. That's kind of surprising. But I guess, well, actually, what would you been promoting? Was he promoting anything specific, Chris, or was it? Oh, yeah. Well, Giancarlo, Giancarlo is everywhere. He goes to everything. He loves the fans. He's awesome. He's such a great person. Such an energizing speaker too. Like he energizes a room when this man speaks. John Carlos
Yeah.
Esposito. Yeah, he pumps up a room when he talks. Yeah. Andor ratings did very well. These are the highest Star Wars ratings ever. Mandalorian season 2, which is the rescue with when Luke Skywalker appears to take Grogu away, that was one of the highest. And then the other Andors, basically, season 2 episodes and season 1, some of the highest ratings. So Andor's,
Right.
it's still continuing to do well. People are still buzzing about Andor. Okay, all right. I didn't realize that. Interesting. That's cool. It's been circuit heavy since Andor season 1 ended. Okay, cool. Yeah. So just recapping on Andor. What were your overall thoughts? You had the chance to catch Rogue One at this point, right?
I haven't. I was gonna rewatch Rogue One the day after we
You
finished it,
haven't?
and I haven't
Ah,
watched it yet. But it's like on.
ah.
I almost watched it yesterday. I do want to watch it
I
again.
did watch it yesterday. I got so busy
Yeah.
with work, I haven't had the chance to catch it and just sit
Yeah,
through it
I've been
again.
doing other things,
Yeah,
and it's on my list. I want to rewatch it
yeah,
again. But Andor was great. I mean,
yeah.
it was very good, and it
Hmm.
would be nice to see them re-edited into like movies, like
Yeah, drop on the
put
big screen.
two or three together and make it a movie. Like
Oh,
it'd be really
they
nice to.
they wouldn't need to edit anything, in my opinion. I think they should just drop, each season just on the big,
I mean, take
each
out
each arc. Yeah,
yeah, take out the opening. Yeah, take
sure.
out the
Yes.
opening and the
Yeah.
crawl and the and stuff.
Yes.
Just
Yeah.
push them
Yeah.
to just link them together, basically.
Yeah.
But that would be
That.
another great way of seeing it, because when you do break it up, I think you
Hmm.
kind of like it lacks a little bit of
Yeah.
them just getting connecting
Yeah.
together and seeing it as a movie if you're watching it in separate parts like that.
Yeah.
Um, but it was really great. I mean, it's nice to see. Star Wars works. It works. Sometimes it's not my, depending on what they're making. It's like not always. I'm not always super attracted to it
Yeah.
or like really interested in it. But if it's good, it's good.
Right.
And
Yeah.
Andor was good, so it makes me want to
Yeah.
keep watching. I want to
Oh
see
yeah.
more. I want to keep going. It's not like I'm like I totally gave up on Star Wars, where like I don't care anymore.
Right.
Some things
Yeah.
some things grab me like that, or I just like I have no interest. But Andor makes me
Right.
want to, if everything could be like that, it would be
Yeah.
great. So
Yeah. No, the writing was phenomenal. Obviously, production design was amazing. There's a book coming out later this year on the art of Andor season 1 and 2, which I have
yeah,
to
I know.
get. There is just some, yeah. There is just like, some incredible stuff. Um,
I finally got that making of the Shining book I've been waiting
oh
for
yeah,
forever.
oh
Oh
yeah.
my god,
How's
it's
that?
so nice. It's so
Yeah.
nice. Can I grab it real quick?
Oh, totally. Yeah, yeah. Show us.
Well,
Yeah.
we can come back to it. Keep talking. Let me grab it, and then we keep
Yeah,
talking about
yeah,
Star Wars.
yeah.
I'll see.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. I was going to say one of the things I really enjoyed, Mon Mothma's speech about the Emperor was fantastic. They had such a great moment of being able to connect a lot of stuff that's going on in this day and age and stuff like that. At the same time, it still feels like it's proper to the Star Wars universe. It was good to see the moment of Mon Mothma making this speech and breaking away for the first time as well, and seeing that from the other side of Rebels, which was a great arc. Show us what you had there, Elijah. What'd you get?
This is boom. The
Oh,
making
damn, that's
of
huge.
The Shining. Yeah, it's huge. It's a two book thing.
Yeah,
One book, this red book, is
yeah.
like a day by day account of like
Oh,
the
wow.
entire making of the movie.
Oh,
So like
damn.
it goes over like first AD notes and like
Oh, shit.
looking for actors and like
Yeah.
everything. I mean, it's really, 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 really in depth.
Oh wow.
The
Damn.
other book is just like basically a photo book of
Yeah.
on-set photos that like have never been seen before.
Right.
But
Right.
gotta I gotta find one of these pages. They have great photos of um, the miniatures that were made
Oh yeah.
for the Overlook Hotel
Uh huh.
um, before they built the set. They made like little
Right.
scale models
Yeah.
of everything, and it
Right.
looks like it was done so well. Like this is
They,
just foam board like rough models of the bathroom. I
yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
every
Oh
set
damn.
of
Oh
every
wow.
single set in the hotel.
Yeah.
Like they look great. I mean, Halloran's like room, a bedroom, and like
Oh damn.
they did a miniature of every single
They did
um,
finished miniatures then. It's not just white
finished
card. Yeah.
finished miniatures, and these are the
Right.
miniatures of you can see the Overlook Hotel and the
Right.
maze, and like they
Nice.
really went
Wow.
all depth. There's you would dig it. I know you don't like The Shining as much
Oh
as
no
me, but
no,
like
but no no, but
this is
as a
done
production
at L
book,
Street
yeah.
Studios.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the same studios and same like sound stages of the film Star Wars and Empire Strikes Back
Sure.
in. I
Yeah.
mean, it's like
Yeah. Yeah.
the history of of the stage and everything. It's I mean, I'm drooling over it. It's like so cool.
Nice.
It's like I've been waiting for it so long, and it's like it's exceeds
What's
my
it? What,
expectations on it. It's just
yeah.
great.
What's
So
the
and a
cost of that book
huge
again?
huge book, about
Yeah.
$100.
Okay, that's actually pretty
It's
good.
about
Yeah.
$100,
Because
and this is like this is the standard version. Like there was a
yeah.
bigger version of this where like
Right.
the books themselves were bigger, and it came
Yeah.
with like a separate book and other
Yeah.
stuff in it. But been waiting for
It's a little pricey.
forever. I'm glad it
Yeah.
finally came in because
That's cool.
it's pretty sweet. So
That's cool.
that's
Yeah.
a book that I've been waiting for that I just got.
It was the other book coming out soon, later this year in December, I think, is the 50th anniversary of Industrial Light and Magic, which is supposed to be like a 300 and something page
Oh,
book,
I'd like to
which
get
I'm
that
also,
too. I'd like to get
yeah, and but apparently it's on pre-sale on Amazon for like $70, and I thought that was in the $200 range originally from what I saw. So I
Oh
don't know if
yeah,
that's
pre-order. I'd say pre-order it because
yeah,
now
yeah,
pre-order it because
yeah,
I missed a pre-order on this. Like wait,
yeah,
I didn't get it for. It took a long time to get it, but if I would have
yeah,
pre-ordered it when I saw it at the pre-order price,
yeah.
it would never went back to that price. I'm like,
Oh,
oh, I'll
really?
go back to that, and it
Right.
never did.
Huh.
So
Interesting.
if it's that low and you want
Then
it, I would just
yeah,
pre-order it now,
yeah. I think I
just so
will.
that
Yeah,
you'll get it when it first releases too.
yeah,
I think I
yeah,
waited and I
yeah.
didn't pre-order it, so like a batch came out and they were sent out, and then because I
Then the
ordered it
price went
later,
up. Yeah.
like they had to like reprint. They had to do
Gotcha.
a second
So it's
printing of
not.
these
It's a
books.
second printing. Yeah.
It's a second printing. I mean, it doesn't say
Yeah.
anywhere it's a second printing. I don't think,
Right.
but I know it came out like
Yeah.
they had to go back and print more.
Oh wow. Yeah. That's cool.
But yeah, if you see it on sale on Amazon, it's probably the cheapest price you're ever going to get it for. So.
Right. Right. Yeah. Well, again, that's something I'm going to get to. There's a few books coming out this year that are in that price range that I'm going to be like picking up
Yeah, books,
for
expensive
sure.
books.
Yeah, but they're worth it. There's so much good material, especially when they pull out photos that you've never seen before on behind the
I would have paid
scenes.
$100 just to look at these photos once. Like if I
Uh
could just
huh.
look
Uh
at
huh.
them once, I would have paid hundred
Right.
dollars. Now that I
Yeah.
have
That's
like a
great
book
though.
of like all these, it's like it's so
Oh
worth
yeah.
it if you're
Yeah.
obviously Star Wars or whatever movie you love, like
Yeah. Yeah.
Ghostbusters, Back to the Future, whatever. You
Yeah.
know, it's nice to get those behind the scene photos and during the making of and all that stuff. It's
Yeah.
so great to be able to see that. You're like, oh man, it's just
Yeah.
so cool. It helps.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, just jumping back to Andor again. Andor again. Yeah. I mean, I think that they well, let's talk about the soundtrack alone. The soundtrack worked really well for the each episode arc. I actually ended up by downloading each soundtrack. The best one still for me was the episodes 7 to 9. Yeah, 7 to 9 had some great score in there.
Hmm.
Um, and then yeah, just basically production design. Again, these sets are humongous. This is a 500-foot set.
Man, that's so huge.
Yeah, 500 feet long Gorman set
Jeez.
outdoor. yeah, backlot Pinewood
At
Studios and
Pinewood
all that.
Studios.
Yeah. Um, One of the things I found funny, which was like people's theories on the internet, and these were a lot of the theories. Of course, I always had a theory that B2EMO was going to be wired into KSO. That did not happen. Deidre being Cassian's sister, I never heard that one. That's kind of thing. People apparently thought that that Luthen was a Jedi. Um, uh, Bix, of course, is definitely not Cassian's sister. That would be kind of a little, well, weird.
That would be weird. No, don't do
Uh-huh.
that.
Yeah. It turned out that Cyril did not become a rebel. Uh, this is not Uncle Harlow, whoever that guy was. Um, Seriously, not Cassian's sister, which was what's the name? Not an Imperial spy, and yeah, not yeah, and
Serious.
someone thought that Poe Dameron was the baby
Oh, okay. I think I heard that before.
from the sequels, and no, apparently there's a backstory there already. No, there's a backstory in the books that the baby that Poe Dameron had actual parents. He had both parents, and that all exists. So no, I don't think it's gonna be Poe. I do like that. Yeah. What was yeah, and Andor was great, but Theory hated. Yeah, I who cares about Star Wars Theory? He's an idiot. Uh, but yeah, I mean, end of the day, Andor had some really great stuff going for it, and I think that end of the note. Well, I went and rewatched Rogue One after last night, I should say, and I definitely got more emotionally teared up because there was definitely towards their death, especially when Radek is like, you know, you thank you, Rogue One, when he's, right before the Death Star destroys the,
Hmm.
the surface there. It was a much more emotional connection to that character and the other characters that we'd seen. See, Melshi for me, I never even recalled the name until Rogue One kind of brought him into it, and it was like, sorry, until Andor brought the character back into it, and I really had forgotten that he was just a side character on the battlefield. And that's all he was to me. He was just a side character with a name, and we never really got any depth in Rogue One as to who Melchi was. But now that you've got these connections, it made a lot more of an emotional stake for the characters. And I think that was the one thing when I first watched Rogue One for me. I didn't have as much emotional connection to these characters, to their deaths, because the big thing they end up with Darth Vader, and that's what everybody remembered at the end of Rogue One. And now I almost regret that we had to see Vader turn up at the end of Rogue One, because it takes away from the sacrifice of those characters even more so, in my opinion. And
Right.
that was the one thing. It was just like it. Even when I originally saw it, it was like I liked that Vader was there, but at the same time, it bothered me because it took away the sacrifice element, and so end of the day, Rogue One definitely is worth watching right after the fourth episode, of the last episode there of Andor for sure,
Hmm.
and you will piece these connections together. I think I'm gonna wait for about 6 months. I'm gonna sit down and watch season one, two, and then Rogue One again all the way through to
I could see that, like
A New
watching
Hope.
them all together
Yeah,
all at once. Like,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Give it some chance to rest, but it definitely was is a very well done series. Um, yeah. Um, so last thing I'll talk about, Epic Universe. There's been a lot of little things. More web streamers have been online. Um, uh, this is a full-on animatronic Frankenstein's monster. It's supposed to be like 9 feet tall, weighs over 800 pounds. It's kind of crazy. Um, I saw some movement of it. Looked really cool. So the Dark Universe just looks kind of fun. I mean, there's some great little stuff that they've been doing in the Epic Universe there. Uh, you've got all the stuff from the Epic
Oh yeah,
Universe
Disney.
and
Disney is the Donkey Kong thing.
no, not
I mean,
Disney. No, yeah,
Nintendo. Nintendo.
yeah, Nintendo. Yeah, yeah.
Nintendo.
So yeah, that's part of the ride kind of stuff, and of course the stuff from How to Train Your Dragon. There's 30 and over 30 animatronic dragons from How to Train Your Dragon.
Oh yeah, cool.
The actor from the film How to Train Your Dragon went to
Oh,
visit the
cool.
location. So this is the actor on the right, and then the other one on the left is the one who is portraying Hiccup in the. So they did this kind of but it was they've been doing some really good promotional stuff for it. I would, if I had the money and could go to Florida to do that, I would actually go see it because I would love to see these different lands just through portals. That idea is a lot of fun. I know Disney have semi got that, but they're not a central hub into these different worlds. And
Right,
I think that's the
right.
cool thing about Epic Universe is that you walk in and it's a central hub, and you can go into each of these
Go in
lands.
and out. It's kind of like at
Yeah,
Disneyland where you have different lands
yeah,
and it's all
yeah,
there. It's like all in one spot. You don't have to like
yeah,
pay some for an
yeah,
admission price to go into each little world or whatever. So
yeah,
it's
yeah,
cool.
yeah. Um, but that's a cool one too. Would Brent go to Ohio? I've driven through Ohio before. Yeah. Yeah.
If he has
Yeah.
to, is there a Star Wars convention in Ohio?
Well, that's the thing. There would have to be something in Ohio that I'd have to drive through. So it's like, yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
But
There's some reason to
either
take
way,
go there.
yeah, exactly. Anyway, then, that's kind of all the bits and pieces I, gathered. There's really wasn't a huge amount of big drops recently, and anything that happened really dropped a few weeks ago. So it's sometimes hard with sometimes work pops in something I'm free and sometimes I'm not. So it's like on
Yeah.
Sundays, so it gets a little crazy. Yeah, and we'll see what drops between now and next week and what's big news. I don't know if there's any shows on television or any movies that drop in the next week, so it might be live next week.
I just watched
Hmm.
the Pee Wee Herman documentary on
Oh, okay,
Max,
okay,
HBO Max,
right,
which is really good. It's a two-part. I was thinking it was going to be like a one-part thing.
right.
It's pretty good. It's like
Oh yeah,
maybe it's maybe 3 or 4 hours long, two
okay,
parts. So
all right. See,
I
I was
really
never,
enjoyed it. It was really good.
yeah, I was
You're
never
Even if
attached
you
to
were not a Pee
P.
Wee fan,
Right.
that's fine. I think even if you weren't attached to
Well,
Pee Wee, but you like Paul Rubin and you kind of like Pee Wee in
right.
general, even Pee Wee's Big Adventure, like if you
Well,
like
we
that
never,
movie
we
alone.
never, we never got a lot of the Pee Wee Herman's.
I know
Like
you
he
said you
was
never got
never
it
on television.
in
Yeah, in
Australia.
Australia. Yeah,
Yeah. I
yeah,
think even besides that, I think it's a good documentary just about Paul Rubens himself
yeah,
because you really never. That's what it's called, Pee Wee
yeah,
himself or Paul
yeah,
Rubens himself. I think is the name of the
yeah.
documentary.
Yeah,
So it was just good to
yeah,
see like a more natural like interview with him and
yeah.
people around him. Elvira was like one of his good friends, so there's like an
Right.
interview with her
Oh,
and
okay.
other actors that were around him at the same time. So it was a
Okay.
well done documentary.
That's
It's
cool.
streaming right now on HBO Max. So
Yeah.
check it out.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Last of Us.
Oh
I'm.
yes, that I've been. It was on my mind, but
Oh,
that's
yeah.
what I've
Did you
been up to
have you
date
been
with. So I've
catching
been
up?
watching all of Last of Us.
I mean,
Yeah,
it's
I
a
mean
very
there's one
good
that comes out today.
series,
So like
but I'm
we'll watch
just
the new
not
one.
connected. Yeah, season finale tonight. Yeah. Um, I, I, It's a very good series. Performances are fantastic. But I'm just not connected to it. I feel like, as I said before, that The Walking Dead hit these tropes along the way, specifically about mankind and how mankind is
Right.
post a situation that
Hmm.
goes bad for humanity and all that. And I'm just like, yeah, I mean, I'm okay. I'm watching it, but I'm not like connected to it. Doctor Who has
Well, that's one thing
really
I've
been
never.
bad.
I watched maybe the first season of Walking Dead, and then into
Yeah,
the second season is probably when I
right.
gave up.
Yeah,
And this has a different feel to it. Like I know that this is probably not going to go as long as
yeah,
Walking Dead, so I think that kind of like helps.
yeah,
Anyways, I'm enjoying it. I don't love it. I don't love it. It's
yeah,
not like I'm
yeah.
like enthralled about
No,
it, but
but there's
it's
nothing bad
good, and
about it.
I've
The performances are good and production
nothing bad
quality is
about it. And
amazing. Yeah,
there's
yeah,
not many shows
yeah,
that like I'm up to date with and
yeah,
watch coherent in order
yeah,
of them getting dropped and everything,
yeah,
like up to date on.
yeah.
So,
I'm just not
but it's good.
emotionally
I'm enjoying it.
invested. Yeah, I'm not as
I like the
emotionally
characters. I
invested with
like the
these.
actresses. Like
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
done
yeah,
well. So
yeah. Oh
it's
yeah, I
good.
agree with that for sure. Uh, yeah. Apart from that, I think we might leave it there tonight. So yeah. Uh, thanks guys. How's it going, Graphic Heroes? Hey, how's it going? Yeah, thanks a lot, guys. We will catch you all later. And next week,
Jersey
Elijah
Shore.
should join Jersey Shore. What?
They
Okay.
still they still even do that? I'm not from Jersey. Do I look that?
See you guys. Thanks a lot. Catch you later. See you
Bye
next time.
bye.
Bye.